and welcome to today's debate on how the internet and social media is affecting the lives of young people. This debate, taking place today on Safer Internet Day, seeks to bring together 6 young adults from 3 different countries, Ireland, Slovenia, and the UK, to discuss a topic that is very much about them, but often leaves them out. I guess we're moving now into the discussion on the book that we've been reading for today's discussion. By the time you read this, I'll be dead.
Yeah.
Quite an interesting book. Claire, would you like to give a little summary?
Yeah, sure. It's all about a girl named Dalen who is overweight and she gets really badly bullied, and because she gets so badly bullied, she has like a lot of problems, like socially. She doesn't want to talk to people, and she tries to commit suicide. And it's not the first time she's tried to commit suicide. She's tried like several times already before the book. And basically she logs on to this website called Through the Light, which is like a euthanasia kind of website. It will like assist you to commit suicide. And she picks her date and everything's ready until she meets a boy named Santana. And Santana's recovering from cancer, but he's kind of going through it at the same time, but he's going to get better, but he's determined to. And she kind of realizes that like, why is he so kind of passionate about life when she's got nothing, and it changes her point of view. And it ends on a really big cliffhanger, but I can't tell you. But she has to decide whether she wants to live her life to the fullest, like be like Santana, or if she wants to kill herself.
I'd like to focus a little bit on the website that Dalen uses to assist her in her suicide. This fictional website that they've created called Through the Light, which assists not only her but a group of people who have maybe tried and failed a suicide attempt and are trying to do it again. It's a very controversial thing to write about and think about. What are your thoughts about similar websites such as the one that Dalen uses?
I don't really believe in, you could say, assisted suicide, as in someone not giving you help directly, obviously it's through the internet, but giving you a forum or discussion to talk about suicide. I think suicide is it's obviously your body, your decision, it's your life. So I don't think there should be a website associated with helping you or telling you how to, or not telling you why. You obviously have your reason why you wish to commit suicide, but I don't think there should be a website kind of giving you an excuse maybe to commit suicide, even though there shouldn't be an excuse to commit suicide. I think it's more so a website that's giving you somewhat of a, right, this website is telling me in 22 days this is my date of fate that I will commit suicide. I don't think that's very helpful.
I don't think it should be glamorized to the point that it is in the media today. Like, it's not a pretty thing, you know, like Romeo and Juliet, all that love story, like suicide's sad and it's not the answer. Like, I don't think that it should be glamorized the way it is today.
Sure. And I mean, we've done a little bit of reading, which we'll discuss later, about the power of the audience.
Yeah.
And perhaps in our world where we broadcast everything, even our most mundane thoughts become a little bit more important because we proclaim it to the world, be it on Twitter, on Facebook.
Yeah. And
similarly, we almost hold ourselves responsible for the things we set out to do because we have now an audience. So for example, New Year's resolutions that we put on Facebook may become something that we hold on to because all our friends know that we're doing it.
Yeah.
Weight loss, fitness plans. There's these different kinds of websites like Tumblr and Facebook that assist us in achieving these goals. Do you think perhaps in a more negative way, a website like Through the Light was doing the same thing for Dalen, almost holding her accountable for her suicide in 23 days or however long she'd set for herself?
Yeah, like setting personal goals, it's somewhat of a private thing, but I think this website really exposes it as a public thing, and that's a lot of what I think social media websites do. They kind of expose yourself, so a lot of things that you will normally keep private, since you now have an audience online, you're going to expose a lot of public information, well, a lot of personal information to the public about yourself. So I do think that it's a website that turns a very, very personal matter into a very public thing, and therefore you're kind of not bullied, but somewhat pressured into actually doing that commitment that you made.
Okay. Another interesting thing that happens in the book is, and I suppose that is detailed in the book, is her relationship with her family. And she feels quite distant from her mom and her dad, and isn't really free to open up to them. And her parents then feel quite disconnected from her. And having attempted suicide before, they now feel that if they allow her to have a laptop, they should be monitoring what she's doing. I'm curious to see what you think about parental monitoring of online behavior for especially teenagers and young adults. Do you think that it's a solution to the problem, or is it maybe just, I mean, Dalen was able to kind of get around the parental controls. Is it just avoiding talking about the issue, or is it really doing anything good?
There's a saying that strict parents make sneaky kids, and it's true.
Yeah.
I think that if you just talk to them about it instead of blocking the sites, like, there's going to be a way to get on it, and like, everyone's going to be able to find out a way to get on it. It's not something that you can do 24/7, because like, you've got your phone, you've got your laptop, you've got your iPad, you've got everything, and like, it's just so easy to get onto, and like, your parents obviously can't watch you 24/7.
Right.
So I think that they should more be open about it than try to just block them.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I tend to agree with that, because today, you have your smartphone and your tablet and your laptop. They're very hard to control from a parent's perspective. It's not that you have just the one computer in the house that you can put filters up on and then see what your child is doing. So, in your personal experience, do you know of any of your friends that have used, obviously not something as extreme as that, but do you see your friends getting hurt by various websites that they use?
My friend had an Ask FM, and like, she goes to an all-girls school, and most of her friends were the girls from her school, and because it's anonymous hate, they could feel free to say whatever they wanted to say, and like, she deleted everything, and she was going to her schools, but she didn't, but like, it really upset her. Like, people aren't nice on the internet. Like, that's just a fact, I think, at this point.
And we'll talk a little bit more about cyberbullying when the Slovenian partner will lead the discussion on the movie Cyberbully. But I suppose in Dalen's case, and from what you've read in the book, and you've seen the sort of really traumatic experience of being bullied, and Dalen, using the website to kind of assist in you dealing with this bullying. What do you think are some of the, I suppose, solutions to the problem? Although it's hard for us to say, we have obviously never been in sort of that Dalen's shoes, for example, but would you have any, advice for maybe young students that are watching this that are going through bullying and maybe are looking into something like Through the Light?
Just talk about it. Talk to someone, anyone. Like, there will always be someone you can turn to. Like, it might not even be someone you know, but there's always someone, so I'd talk about it.
Yeah, I think talking about the problem is the best solution to the problem. It's not really going around the problem if you keep ignoring it, because let's face it, if you're getting bullied, it's very hard to ignore. So just talk about the problem, and generally I think talking about the problem really does solve the problem.
So like, people like, oh, just talk about it. It's so like overused, but it actually does work.
Yeah.
Like, it's like, oh, just talk about it with someone. Like, you should actually, because it does actually work.
Would anybody in the UK or Slovenia like to add anything to our discussion today?
So, having read the book by the time you read this, I'll Be Dead, I must say I didn't quite like it, because the main character is, well, depressed, but as well is at the same time quite cruel and selfish, because she doesn't let people into her life, even though they try to approach her. Therefore, I somehow felt like there was no hope in the book, and the answer to the suicidal, to triggered suicidal youth hasn't been provided. So I think the book might be bad for suicidal readers to read. And after you, you mentioned the ask.fm site, and I would like to say that the people who have committed suicides, who had committed suicide, and the social networks have been blamed for that. I think these people haven't committed suicides only due to the websites, and I think that we ought to see the bigger picture, and that we mustn't blame the internet, but, well, as cruel as it may sound, these people and their environments they lived in as well. Because when we use the internet, we should be aware of the possible consequences. And, well, if one is prone to vulnerability, one shouldn't start an ask.fm page in the first place. So I think we can prevent cyberbullying by just shutting down the computer.
If you've got something to say after seeing the issues raised in today's debate, you can join the conversation online at generationz.eu or on social media using the hashtag #SmarterThanEver.